everyone, and welcome to Chant A Psalm A. We are here on the 10th. This is Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining Chant A Psalm A. How is everyone out there today? Today's psalm, let me tell you, I want to ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right, what is good, what is kind, what is loving, what is merciful, what is the most high, what is, this bountifulness of goodness and mercy that we all want in our lives and that we seek after. We should be, every one of you out here. We're a little bit after the hour, wherever you are in the world. We're a little bit after the hour. So we are about to start. I have my candle by my window. It's burning there by my window. And I'm very pleased to, give thanks that we have this opportunity to, chant a psalm. Let's see. Okay. So as people start gathering in, I have a few notes that I wanted to, share with everyone as I get situated here. And as we, as we go forward, as we move forward, thank you for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. Thanks for joining and tuning in. Today is the 10th. We're a little bit after the top of the hour, about 20 something minutes, 22. 222 has been appearing today. 222. And I, my guardian angel, 222, it's amazing what happens, appeared out of nowhere. And this appearance became quite interesting because it allowed me to look within myself and to see within myself what I need to do to be strong in this time, because we are in a time where it is quite debilitating, if you ask me, because of so many changes and so many things that are happening, and because of the fact that we are judged constantly by each other, and in those spaces we find that we have come far in learning about ourselves and learning about what we need to do to be better with ourselves and with each other. Okay, so we are being honest and kind and respectful to each other, and I've been in around people that are different from me, and I may be fiery. I may be fiery, but I also am very, humble to people's beliefs and what they choose to believe. So, when we look at the psalm today, and the psalm today is amazing. Okay, yes, I will get there. The psalm today, and I have to, when I begin the psalm, thanks for joining Chant A Psalm A Day, and thanks for liking this video. Don't forget to like the video. You got all this chat up in here, but you're not liking the video. Okay. So we want to stay in a non-carnal way. We don't want to be carnal, talking about the flesh. And this psalm is about that. Thanks for liking the video, by the way. This Psalm 22, and as I'm telling you, my guardian angel 222 awakened me, and I was quite delighted because I got to experience this love that's so powerful it can't be explained. And those of you who are on my live right now and that are talking and, making comments and stuff like that, remember that everything you put out is what's returned to you. So it's best to be kind. It's best to not be, telling people what to do and, having your opinion be like law of the land. I had to learn that. Okay. So those of you who are here to listen to the word translated in the words of liberation, this is for you. Okay. The rest of you who are on here, and I can simply just leave you out. Do you want me to leave you out of it, Wolf Chief? I can leave you out of it actually, and put you out. What about that? Ah, you did. Okay. And who else? Carlos. Yeah, that can be as well. So that you are, mm, if you don't want to hear the word, then that's fine. Okay, MG, I don't know who you are. Let's get started with the psalm, shall we? So the psalm today, um, yes, we got to tell them to get behind. Yeah, those who are not good gonna get behind us. Yeah, so we can chant. We got to clear the room out, right? Because there's folks out there who really can be a handful. They can be a handful. I got this from my students. They got me this. They gave me a basket of stuff, and this was one of them. This scarf. They know I wear, scarves, and that was so kind of them to do that. That was really kind. So here we go. We're clearing the way now. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you so much. Here we go. So as I get my notes, we are on Psalm 22. Okay, 2:2. And Psalm 22 is a question. It's a question. Why? And people ask this question, when they're in situations that are challenging, like, okay, why am I struggling here? Why is this happening? Why, right? So, why have I been forsaken? Why have you forsaken me? And this is, similar to what Jesus said on the cross, Father, you've forsaken me and stuff. So you know, this is happening. This is an obvious, feeling. And this can come from a lot of different things in people's lives. This is coming in this way from this place of confusion, maybe depression, maybe a place of, why am I this age and I haven't gotten this yet, or why this is happening and have that, so it's this psalm is for those who are in that questioning phase, questioning, you know, what their gifts are, what their passions are, and it's questioning basically. So it goes deep into the question of why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far? From saving me from the words of my groaning. All of this is a question in verse 1. It encompasses this question, right? My tea is cold already because I've been up. So we have verse 2 talking about, oh, my righteousness. And this one, people in verse 1 who question, they're questioning, why, whether there's a God and whether there is that one that's going to save them. They question that because they're going through situations. And that, in verse 2, this is Psalm 22, verse 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm crying all day through the day, and I don't get an answer. And through the night, I'm finding no rest. Okay. I'm finding no rest. People, that's called insomnia. People, and I just had lunch with someone, and they're going through that right now with, not being able to sleep. I get my rest. I try to get my rest from 7 in the evening. I'm trying to put myself down, and even though it may take some time, that's what I think I'm going to suggest for them to do, is to find that calmingness, to get themselves at rest in the bed, lights off, getting into their own space of tranquility, creating that tranquil space in their mind. And that's what I have to do, because I wouldn't be able to get up and do the work that I have to do and do the things that I have to do were I not able to get to rest at a decent time at 7. Some people stay up till 12, 1, 2 midnight. I'm sleep and up at 3 a.m. This rise, it was 2:22. My 222 guardian angel got me up at 2. Sometimes it's my 3 a.m. guardian angel. Sometimes it's my 4 a.m. Or, maybe the latest 5, but I'm up and ready. So this psalm is, for those who can't rest. They're not able to rest. So we have verse 3 talking about, yet you are holy. And I use the word sacred. I use the word sacred. You are sacred. Enthroned on the, praises of Israel. Okay. In translation, this separates us. Israel is all the way, where is that, So I cannot be separated from that. So I look at that enthroned on the praises of the Most High, on the praises of the people, of Ethiopia, for example. So this one is sacred. It's very sacred. Thank you for liking this video. Very sacred. And that sacredness is a righteousness, because in verse 1 it says, my righteousness, why have my righteousness forsaken me? And this happens to people when they turn into wrongness. And then they're like, why did I do that? Why did I made a mistake? Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. So we see the fact that, this is a question of my righteousness, because it's, crying during the day and I don't get an answer. I at night I'm finding no rest, so I'm up. This is what this is what people go through. I'm glad I'm able to rest. I get in the bed and I'm just like, oh, nice. I feel good and I'm ready to relax and rest. But people who are depressed or going through, those things will have a difficult time. So you have to really kind of find what it is that's having you to feel these ways, and tapping, deep into that is important. So in verse 4, it's talking about our ancestors trusted in that righteousness within themselves. They trusted in that and they were delivered. Um, they cried to that righteousness and they were rescued. And in that righteousness, trust was put. And one's our ancestors, the fathers and mothers before us, were not put to shame. They were not put to shame. So um, that's why it's important to trust in yourself. You're not going to be ashamed of the fact that you trust in yourself. You're going to be ashamed when you trust in other people and then they disappoint you. And it's like, oh gosh, why did I do that? They don't have my best interest at heart, but you have your best interest. So you trust in yourself, even though you may be standing alone by yourself. You still trust in yourself. So you will you will be rescued. In verse 6, the psalmist goes kind of deep into describing um, this comparison to a worm and not a human, and being scorned by humans and despised by folks. I know what that is like. Okay. And verse 7, all that see I and I, mock I and I, like, look at her, she's got it. When I was in sackcloth and ashes on my forehead and sackcloth, that people did that. They, oh, you're making me itch. And in verse 7, it goes even deeper that, their mouths, they make mouths at me and wag their heads like, you know, and they speak things of okay, they trust in that, let that deliver them. Then let them be rescued by that they trust in, and that delights, for that one delights in the one that trusts in that righteousness. So you got to trust in that. I mean, things can be going wrong. I'm dealing with a lot myself, but people like, oh, you make it look so easy, you got all this work to do. Yeah, but I'm glad I find moments to, give people who value me and my time the time. I'm not going to give my time to folks that don't value me, or my time and my presence. When I come around you, you should drop everything seriously and try to, learn something from me. Let me learn from you, and not be intimidated by the letters behind my name or the products and the services that I provide, and my creativity. Don't demonize that or weaponize that against me, because I'm a person, with feelings. So trusting in that righteousness is important. Because in verse 9 it speaks of, why am I trusting in that righteousness? Why is that righteousness going to deliver me from all these sorts of craziness? It's because verse 9 says it. This is the one that took me out of the womb. I couldn't get this size where you see me now. I have a lot of years behind me. 4 years behind me. 5 and 4 is 9. So I have, it may be 9 years to the Most High. It may be, 54 to the Most High. What's 54 to the Most High is 9 to some. What's 9 to some is 54 to the Most High. It's whatever. It's a number, right? And it does not define nor, defy you. You're supposed to be getting, wiser by the years to discern folks. You're supposed to. So when you're not, that means that you have a lot of inner work to do. And that inner work is going to happen when you're alone. When you're alone, and you may be forced to be alone. And when that happens, is because that righteousness, that creator, that most high, that almighty God, Lord Jesus, Jehovah, that one wants you to be okay and loves you, loves each one of us. So the trials we're going through is because we are anointed, and the anointed usually goes through some things. Okay? The anointed goes through some things to get themselves right. It's like God, it's like a parent giving a child attention, and trying to fix, correcting them, and getting them on the right way, as opposed to leaving them do what they want to do. So it's similar to that with the Most High. It's like, yeah, this little spanking is going to get you, and the spanking may mean you may fall down. You may have to get back up. You may get, you may have a repossession. You may, be kicked out of your apartment. You may be going, whatever the case may be. What don't kill you gonna make you stronger. It's gonna make you stronger. So we bring things on ourselves. We put ourselves in situations, and then we turn around and look at our situation and blame someone else. No, it's not someone else. It's you. Look at yourself. Seriously, folks. That's the only way you're going to build that relationship with that one that has the power to move a mountain, and that took you out of your mom's womb and made you to trust at your mother's breast. You had no choice but to trust that for food. And verse 10, on that power of that one, that's righteousness, you were cast from birth. And from your mother's womb, you have been sanctified, anointed of the Most High. Okay? Trouble is near. There's none to help. That righteousness is not going to be far from you. Trust in that. Trouble may be near. There may be none to help. You're calling and calling. Nobody's helping. Guess what? In verse 12, it talks about it. Many bulls encompass you. Strong bulls. These strong bulls of Bashan. It could be encompassing you in all kind of ways. Opening their mouths wide, leaving vicious voice. It could be that. Like a ravening beast, roaring beast. So in verse 14, it's like I is poured out as water. I'm giving everything I got. My bones are out of joint. My heart is as wax is melting. It's been broken. The love that I thought that was the love I had for someone, or them, or someone for me, is no longer. That hurts. So it's compared to melting within my chest. My strength is dried up as a potsherd. My tongue sticks to my jaws like this. I'm like, I can't believe that they did that to me. I'm like, and I'm laid in the dust of death. I lay there in the dust of my father's dead body, laying there. This is on top of that. These ones encompass me, a company, not just one of them, but a company of them encircling me. And this is what happened to Jesus, piercing his hands and feet. You could count all the bones on his body as they stare and gloat over his body, dividing his garments among them, and casting these lots and stuff. This is describing the crucifixion of Jesus. However, in verse 19, it speaks of this righteousness of that is the Lord, that is the Most High, is not far off and is a strength and is going to come quickly to the aid of I and I. And is going to deliver I and I life from this violence that's out there. Because I and I precious life is precious. Is precious. And we're going to be saved from the mouth of people, vicious voicemails. The other day, I got a voicemail that was so beautiful. This, hi, beautiful. And I was like, oh my goodness, hi, beautiful lady, it said. I thought that was so sweet. So when I listened to the psalm today and I listened to the words, it's like I've been quickly rescued. And I'm not going to push away that rescuing. You know, when there's a ship coming, there's a story of this man who was out on the boat, and he's, calling, God, waiting for God to rescue him. And a ship comes and he's like, no, go ahead, I'm waiting for God. And another thing comes and he's like, no, I'm waiting. And then he passes away. And he comes to God. He's like, but why didn't you rescue me when I was, what's up? God was like, I sent 3 things to come get you, dude. And you didn't heed, you didn't listen. So our help is right there, and we just push it away. And it's oftentimes at our detriment, our own detriment. We leave this planet without fulfilling, what our purpose is. And maybe our purpose is not to fulfill any purpose for some of us. I know I have to fulfill my purpose, and I have a purpose. And my purpose is building relation with the Most High, with that one that is just loving and kind and beautiful and just wonderful, and that has given me such an opportunity in my life to be free. Like, we're not totally free, but I'm free in terms of I'm not with someone else. I'm not on their own beat, I'm on my own beat. Let's join. I wanted someone to be on my team and be on my team, and they didn't want to be on my team. So it's okay, because my life is precious and I'm saved from these vicious mouths of folks. I'm rescued from these, stabbing in my back and coming through my stomach kind of stuff. I'm rescued from the stabbing in the back. And in verse 22, what am I going to do now? Am I going to go, wallow in it and be a victim? No, I'm going to tell of the name of righteousness to all my brothers and sisters. In the midst of the assembly, I'm going to just, hallelujah, give thanks. That's what I'm going to do. And you who fear that righteousness will give that thanks too. All the offspring of Jacob glorify and stand in awe. All the offspring, in verse 24, righteousness has not despised or abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, okay, and has not hidden, the face of righteousness from the afflicted, and the has listened when the afflicted cries. I'm telling you. From righteousness comes a amazing adulation in the great gathering of folks. And I vows. I have made a vow. I made a vow to Saradochna, to do good, to give of the kindness that's in my heart and in my mind and in my words to those that are around me. And that's why I've been kept alone, because I'm precious, and the Most High does not want me around or certain things. Is going to protect me from that, and I trust that. So in In this great gathering, the afflicted is going to eat and be satisfied. And those that seek for that righteousness is going to give thanks to that righteousness. And ones who seek that will have hearts that live for all time to come. Their hearts will live, right? Our hearts are very important to our bodies. When our heart stops, we get no oxygen to the brain. When we get no oxygen to the brain, we are gone. So our hearts are important. Heart healthy is important. So all the ends of the earth is going to remember and turn to the Most High, and all the families of the nations is going to give thanks and worship before this righteousness within themselves, and then seeking it out in others. You don't have to create statues and idols and all this stuff to say that you're doing the right thing or you're behaving in righteousness. It starts on the inside. Let it start there, and teach children that that's where it starts. Let me look at the comment. Ooh. Hi, good greetings. I'm chatting on, and I'm not looking at the comments here. Andre Washington, can I be your near future husband? Andre, okay. Greetings, Andre. Greetings. Al Swan, greetings, Connie. Connie is one of my moderators on this. So, Andre, keep it nice, because Connie will, remove you. You want to become rich? Pray for me. I'm poor. Well, rich starts on the inside. You have to learn that rich starts on the inside, then it'll come to you on the outside. Yeah, I'm telling you. Seriously, once you find out that, you're going to end up knowing what your talents and your gifts are, and you're going to be rich. Health is wealth. Being rich is being healthy. So, are you healthy? That's rich. That has to happen first before monetary or financial richness comes. So thanks for joining Chant A Psalm. Thanks for tuning in. Connie, thank you so much. I love you. And thank you all for liking this video, because it means so much when you like the video. But as we look at our hearts, I was talking about our hearts is gonna live for all time to come when we are in that space that we're supposed to be in. And verse 27 now talks about, all the ends of the earth is going to remember and turn, and I read that the families are going to work, the kingships belong to that righteousness, and that righteousness rules over the nations, right? Righteousness is going to exalt a nation. That's just how a nation is going to be elevated and protected in righteousness. So in the final three verses, we have verse 29, all the prosperous of the earth eat and worship. Before this righteousness shall bow all who go down to the dust, even the one who could not keep oneself alive. Okay, so all the prosperous of the earth eat and worship. Before him shall bow all who go down to the dust, even the one who could not keep himself alive, meaning that everyone is going to humble themselves to righteousness. Okay, humble yourself to what's righteousness, what's goodness and mercy and love. And posterity shall serve. Okay, that means future generations. And this is going to be told to the coming generation. That's what posterity is. And that coming generation is going to come and proclaim righteousness. Like, it's good to be good, it's righteousness is nice, it's good to be kind to your fellow human in this humanity, especially to people yet unborn, according to verse 31. That righteousness is what does it. It's not a ring on your finger. It's not a person coming into your life and completing you. It's not none of that. It's not the letters behind your name. It's not how much money you make. It's not how much, products you sell. It's not how much money you have. It's not about that. It's about righteousness, goodness, mercy, love, and kindness, right? That's what it's about. And that's what is to be proclaimed to the next generation. Tell the next generation that, to find within themselves their passions and their gifts and their talents that they can then use to help and make humanity better. And in the process, they can have a business and earn it a living and being happy in doing what their passions and gifts and talents are pushing them to do. So we have to find that within ourselves. We cannot find that with someone outside of us. It's great if then you have a team, you're both working together and the same goal. You may get there differently, but you're together working as a team. You're not working in, counterproductive ways. So that is our psalm today. I'm thankful for that psalm today because it really sets us to look at what the word of the day is. And in that word of the day, we find, oh my goodness, exactly what this psalm is telling us. And what is this psalm telling us? That we're not going to be, when we forsake our own righteousness, that's when we're lost. That's when we're going to be in trouble. But when we know that our righteousness is God within us, and that's what God is. It's not a statue or an image or an idol or a Christmas tree. That is not God. Once we know that God is within us, inside of us, we're going to stop doing the foolishness to ourselves and to each other. We're going to start telling ourselves the truth. We're going to start telling each other the truth. I love you, or I don't love you like that. I want to be just your friend, or I want to be with you, or look, I met someone else and this is what it is. Honesty. We're going to start doing that. So this is where I come to the word of the day, cherish. Remember, I talked about our life is precious. My life is precious. When I come around you, I'm there because of God put me there in front of you for a reason. For me to give you life and bring you life and give it to you in abundance. I'm the vessel for that. I'm not God. I wasn't crucified, died and buried and rose again. That wasn't me. I serve that. I serve that truth. I serve that goodness. I serve that sacrifice, that mercy, that blood that was shed, and the fire that blazed behind it. That's what I come to serve. So don't come to me in no, squared off way. Because when we look at the Psalm today, 22, and look at what the word is, it's the same thing, cherish. And it talks about I grow in love. We're at the top of the hour, everyone. I grow in love when I cherish the people and all life on earth. Didn't I just say that? Helping humanity, cherishing. So I grow in love when I cherish the people and all life on earth. What does that mean? Some people don't know what that means. To cherish folks, being honest with folks, right? Loving a person, going out of your way for a person, meeting them where they are. So, cherish is our word today. Who are you going to cherish today? What are you going to cherish today? Look at the Psalm 22. Psalm 22 today. Are you forsaken your own righteousness to be a part of a group, or to be a part of the world, or to be a part of a job, or to be a part of whatever? Have you forsaken your own righteousness for that, for something else? What do you cherish? So let's read what the word, this is from dailyword.com. At dailyword.com, the word cherish begins. I cherish the myriad expressions of life. Myriad means it's a whole variety on this earth, including my own. I open my heart and nurture I fellow divine beings. See what other people are supposed to be to you? Other divine beings. That's what people are supposed to be to you, other divine beings. Not looking down on folks. I know none of you all out there do that. So you open your heart and nurture your fellow divine beings and all creatures with, guess what? Loving kindness. Not just kindness, but kindness that's loving. Loving kindness. And as I look upon creation with soft eyes, I love generously without expectation or reciprocation or other response. I don't love because I want you to pay my car note. Some people have sex for money so they can pay their bills. Some people are in messed up relationships so they can pay their bills. Someone told me, they said, you paying me to be alone? So you love generously without expectation or reciprocation or other response. I love God. I love as God loves, unconditionally and without judgment. Bottom line. And people call God now Lord and Jesus, but they are not loving as God loves. They fall short. Me, myself, too. But I am building that relationship. I'm building that. And I'm building it to the point that I have to love just the way God loves, unconditionally. Forgiving, because God is forgiving. I got to love mercifully, because God is mercy. I got to love with compassion, because God is compassion. I got to love with long suffering, because God suffered long. The one son specifically. So cherishing others also means I release any agendas about how they should live. You live how you want. You don't want me anymore. You want that person. That's fine. I still cherish and I release my agenda that I wanted to be with. I wanted us to have a future. It's not happening. I release it. I release any agendas about how you should live, or anyone should live. Anyone. I bless I bless folks, and I commune with righteousness on folks' behalf for the freedom and bravery to live according to the call of their life inside of them, their soul. Whatever their soul is calling, that they are brave enough to live and to be freeness to live whatever their soul is calling. That our heart overflows with love for all creation. It is overflow. Our heart overflows with love for all creation. Meaning when you walk into a botanical garden and you see the flowers, your heart overflows. When you're at the bay and the water is coming in and it's ebbing in and out, and the waves you can see, and the sailboats are in the horizon, and you're swimming with the waves and you see a turtle, all of that, your heart should overflow with the love of all creation. So when I find the presence of God everywhere, when I find that presence of righteousness, that's what God is defined as. Let's get to the operational definition of God. How does that operate? It operates in goodness, but it's also dreadful and terrible at the same time. It's gonna deal with folks. Remember I said the anointed gonna feel it even more, because you're going through things to get you right. To get you right. So when things happen that you don't like, it's to get you right. So when you find the presence, and we talked about this in the Psalm yesterday, the day before, about the presence of God and looking at staying in the presence, because the power is in the presence. And when you're in the presence, you can see the promise. You can see the promise. So when you find the presence of God everywhere and realize that's God, oh, look at God, oh, look, da, 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 you become eager to share that love. You're eager to share it. That's me. I'm like, hi, I love you. Mwah. I love you all out there. So I grow in appreciation by cherishing all that's around me. Cherishing all that's around me. So in the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18, this word cherish is brought to us today by that book, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. And chapter 19, verse 18 talks about taking vengeance. Leave people alone. I keep telling folks this. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against anybody. Only what you gonna do? Love folks as you love yourself. That's it. I was with and I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about, I was with someone that they went and met someone else. And I told them, let me meet the someone. We can all be friends and be good. I don't have nothing against no one. So Leviticus, this is where I get it from. Okay, Leviticus, I love you, man. Chapter 19 in Leviticus is where I'm at. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against anyone. I was left a vicious voicemail. I was cursed at. I was throw stones at. I was, held up at the firing squad. Yeah. People I know for 5 years, 6 years, they block me from them. I can't call them and say, how you doing? Because I'm blocked. So I am not going to take vengeance. I'm going to love still. I shall not take vengeance. Leviticus chapter 19. I'm gonna get that one tattooed. That one gonna be underneath here. Leviticus 19:18. Right here. That that stinging might hurt going all the way here. Leviticus, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. That's going to be a serious tattoo. Leviticus 19:18. I'm not going to take vengeance or bear a grudge. I leave people alone. Love them. I said, I love who you love. I love you, but you don't love me. You were someone else. Guess what? I still love you. I love who you love. You know, you can't stop love. Love is going to flow because that's a God flow. Love is going to flow. So, just stop it. I am going to love my neighbor as I love myself. I see trash by the neighbors. I'm going to help pick it up. You know what I mean? Because what? Righteousness is Lord. Righteousness, goodness, mercy is the King of Kings. That is what is ultimate power. And there's one who sits on a throne that got that all in one power. That is what I'm going to serve. That is what I'm going to love on. That's what I'm going to hug up on. That's what I'm just going to marinate on. I'm going to just be in that space. People putting up their Christmas tree, go ahead and do you. Right? But I'm not going to take vengeance or bear a grudge against anyone. I'm going to love my neighbor as I love myself, as says the Lord. I am the Lord. That's what it speaks of here, Leviticus. Righteousness is Lord. So the word today is beautiful. Cherish, according to Psalm 22, where we talked about being forsaken and our righteousness leaving us. Some people that happens and they turn into wrongness and do things wrong. But Leviticus says, look, don't, You cherish the goodness of the Most High, righteousness. You cherish it. That's what you're gonna have in the end, and when you got on this earth, according to Psalm 22, in the mother's womb, right? Just as when you got here, on the back and grace of the Most High, you're gonna leave on the back and the grace of the Most High. So you better get it correct. You're not a babe out of the womb. That's why Nicodemus said, how can I be born again by going back in the mother womb? Like, dude, no. No. You got to change behavior. Pastor Reed talked about it. I was listening to him. Behavior modification. He used that, though I'm quoting Pastor Reed. Behavior modification. Behavior modification. You want the same results, you behave the same way. You want different results, you better behave a different way. You got to behave a whole different way if you want different results. And that way is about growing in love when you cherish the people around you and are kind. Loving kindness, not just kind, loving kindness. So I want to jump to the verse, because I got to call my friend Jade back in Barbados. Jade, I'm going to call you. But the verse today is coming from the book of Deuteronomy today. We've been in the book of John for a couple days. But the verse today is coming from Deuteronomy, and it's talking about rising up. Righteousness being risen up within a person, it's called a prophet, like me. So Deuteronomy is speaking in this kind of way, like the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your fellow Israelites. Okay? Let's unpack that really quick. Connie, I got you. I got you. I will commune. I'm communing with the Most High right now on behalf of Connie Baptiste. That Connie Baptiste knows that, guess what? The verse today, Deuteronomy, that righteousness is going to raise you up, Connie, so that you don't got to turn into wrongness because of being irritated. Because that's a real emotion. Being irritated and being annoyed and being frustrated is real emotion. So you don't, you're the righteousness of God, Lord, the Lord, your God, Jesus' name, is going to raise up Connie right now as the prophets were risen up to put away any frustration and stand in resurrection, right? Yes. So receive it. I receive. You speak the words, because I'm just a vessel. You are the soil. You are the good soil. Everyone out there listening, we are the good soil. You got to put and plant in that good soil and garden and water that every day. You got to water that good soil. How are you going to do that? Guess how? Righteousness. That's what's going to raise up for you a prophet as me, as righteousness is from among I and I, right? From I and I, fellow human beings. There's going to be one that's going to be risen up. So knowing that, Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse, that's a lot of letters to tattoo. Deuteronomy have to be small. Deuteronomy 18 verse 15. So yeah, that is powerful. So receive the righteousness that has raised up such ones from such time. Receive it, because that is what's going to raise you up from among this irritation, staying in that righteousness, that good place. So Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 15, look at that. Go into that. Go into Leviticus 19:18. You don't want to take vengeance on these folks that irritate you. I'm telling you, you don't want that. You don't want to go down with these folks. Nuh-uh. No, you do not. You don't want to go down with those folks. When people are causing you irritation, you have to look within yourself, because that's the only strength. You can't get the strength from the outside and go get a book and slap them across their face. That happened to me the other morning. I was in the bathroom and my son did something he did, and I went running to slap him and slid on the carpet and fell. Yeah, I slid on the carpet, bruised my knee like a rug burn or something. I had to put some of my miracle oil on it, or I wouldn't be able to walk. My knee was busted up running after him. Got into it. Yes. So you don't want, when people irritate you, you want to take the road of calmness. I'm telling you from experience, I almost got hurt dealing with irritation by, getting angry and cussing and want to do that. Yeah, I went running after my son and fell. I'm 55 years old. I can't be falling. I already fell and broke this arm. I mean, come on now. So I have to learn my lesson. That's why I told you I'm not perfect. So I've fallen short of the glory. Okay. I'm learning, and that's why it's important. That's why people relate to me because they're like, she's real, she's authentic, she's gonna keep it real and keep it authentic, okay? And that's what I'm gonna do. You don't like me, that's, you don't need to, you don't have to come on this channel and listen. You can create your own channel, you know. So that is the love of my life, is the righteousness of the Most High. So let's recap as we finish at the top of the hour. We are a little bit after the hour, but we are here. What is this? Okay. Okay, so we have the word cherish, okay? And the question was, what do you cherish? Okay. We have the Psalm 22, okay? Why are you forsaking your own righteousness? Don't leave your righteous. You embrace it. Embrace your goodness. Okay, you're gonna need it as Connie is dealing with right now. She's exactly, you're gonna need that righteousness. You're gonna need it. So hold on to that dearly. You know, don't let nobody take. Remember they said, don't let no one steal your joy. That's where that come from, right? And then we have our verse today talking to us, Deuteronomy, about rising up that righteousness. Rise up the righteousness. Thanks so much for joining Chant A Psalm A Day. We are out of time. We are out of time. However, we need to rise up the righteousness. So how are you going to rise up the righteousness? How? What are you going to do? Breathe. El Sue always tells us this. Breathe. Just breathe. That's how you're going to begin the journey within. Okay? Breathe. Everybody out there, remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it. Boop. Have a blessed day, everyone. Remember, Chant. Well. What you say? I'm coming at you. I'm gonna come in there. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care. Remember to stand in love. Don't fall in it. It's important so you can see the forest from the trees. Remember that. Take good care. Come on.